Most people get this completely wrong, and it ends up costing them their dream of working in the UK. Imagine this. John Miller, a 28-year-old software engineer from Texas, spent months preparing for his move to London. He had the skills. He had the experience. He even had a job offer lined up. But just weeks before his departure, his visa application was rejected. Not because he wasn't qualified, but because he didn't understand one crucial update in the UK's 2026 work permit rules. And here's the scary part. The rules have changed again. If you're planning to work in the UK in 2026, what worked last year might not work today. And what most people believe about the UK work visa system is outdated, or just flat out wrong. But don't worry. In this video you're going to learn everything, step by step, about the UK work permit in 2026. The new visa rules, the latest eligibility requirements, the skilled worker visa updates, and most importantly, how to avoid the mistakes that could silently destroy your chances. Because by the end of this you won't just understand the system. You'll know exactly how to use it. Now let's start with something critical. The UK does not have a single work permit. This is where most people get confused. Instead, the UK uses a system of different work visas. And the most important one, the one most people apply for, is the skilled worker visa. But here's the twist. The skilled worker visa in 2026 is not the same as it was even a year ago. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because the UK government has been tightening rules to reduce migration numbers. That means stricter salary thresholds, tighter job eligibility, and more scrutiny on applications. So let's break it down. Picture Sarah Thompson. She's a nurse from California. In 2024, she could qualify for a skilled worker visa with a lower salary threshold. But in 2026, the bar has been raised significantly. Here's the new reality. To qualify for a skilled worker visa in 2026, you need 5 core things. First, a job offer from a UK employer. But not just any employer. They must be a licensed sponsor approved by the UK government. This is non-negotiable. If your employer isn't on that list, your application is dead before it even begins. Second, your job must be on the eligible occupation list. And here's the surprising truth. Not all high-paying jobs qualify. Some roles that used to be eligible have been removed or restricted. Meanwhile, certain shortage occupations, like healthcare and engineering, still have more flexibility. Third, the salary requirement. And this is where most people get rejected. In 2026, the general salary threshold for a skilled worker visa has increased significantly. In many cases, you now need to earn at least around £38,700 per year. Let that sink in. That's a huge jump from previous years. But here's where it gets interesting. There are exceptions. If your job is on the shortage occupation list, or if you're a new entrant, like a recent graduate, you might be allowed a lower salary threshold. This is where strategy matters. Because 2 people applying for the same role could have completely different outcomes based on how they qualify. Fourth, English language proficiency, You must prove that you can speak, read, write, and understand English. Most people do this through a recognized test. But here's something many overlook. If you're from certain English-speaking countries, or you have a degree taught in English, you might already meet this requirement. And fifth, you need enough money to support yourself when you arrive. Usually this means showing at least £1,270 in your bank account. Unless your employer agrees to cover this. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, this sounds complicated. And you're right. But here's the key insight most people miss. The UK visa system isn't just about meeting requirements. It's about positioning yourself correctly. Let me show you what I mean. Meet David Carter. He's an IT specialist. He applied for jobs randomly, hoping something would stick. Rejection after rejection. Then, he changed one thing. He targeted only companies that were licensed sponsors. Suddenly, interviews started coming in. Offers followed. And within months, he was approved. Same skills. Same experience. And different strategy. This is the difference between guessing and understanding the system. Now let's talk about one of the biggest updates in 2026. The UK is focusing heavily on high-value migration. What does that mean? It means they want skilled workers who contribute significantly to the economy. And this is where things get really interesting. There are now alternative routes besides the skilled worker visa. For example, the Global Talent Visa.dish. This is for highly skilled individuals in fields like tech, science, and arts. And here's the surprising part. You don't need a job offer for this visa, but you need to prove you're exceptional. That's the trade-off. Then there's the Health and Care Worker Visa. This is a special category with lower fees and faster processing. If you're in healthcare, this could be your golden ticket. But here's the problem most people run into. They apply for the wrong visa. Or worse. They apply without fully understanding the requirements. And this is where applications fail. Not because people aren't qualified, but because they're misinformed. Now let's talk about the actual process. Because this is where everything comes together. Step 1. Get a job offer from a licensed sponsor. This is your foundation. Without it, nothing else matters. Step 2. Your employer gives you something called a certificate of sponsorship. This is a unique reference number. It proves that you have a legitimate job offer. Step 3. You apply online for the visa. You'll submit your documents, pay the fees, and book a biometric appointment. Step 4. You wait. And this is where emotions kick in. Uncertainty. Doubt. What if I get rejected? But here's the truth. If you've followed the process correctly, your chances are much higher than you think. Now let's address something important. Why are so many people getting rejected in 2026? There are 3 major reasons. First, incorrect salary expectations. People apply for roles that don't meet the threshold. Second, choosing the wrong visa category. And third, incomplete or inaccurate documentation. Even a small mistake can lead to rejection. But here's the good news. Every one of these problems is avoidable if you understand the system. And now, you do. Let's go deeper. Because there's one more update you need to know. The UK is becoming more selective about sponsorship. Companies are under pressure to justify hiring foreign workers. That means competition is higher. But here's the opportunity hidden inside this challenge. If you can clearly show your value, you stand out. Think about it. If a company has to choose between 2 candidates, one local and one international, why would they choose you? This is the question you must answer. And when you do, everything changes. Now imagine this. You're sitting in your home. You've just received your visa approval. Your flight is booked. Your future is waiting. That moment, it's not luck. It's the result of understanding how the system works and using it to your advantage. So here's what you should do next. Start by identifying your eligible job roles. Then find licensed sponsors in those industries. Tailor your application specifically for them. And make sure your salary expectations align with the new thresholds. Because in 2026, this is not optional. This is essential. And remember, most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. Now you have that clarity. So the question is, what will you do with it? If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe, because the next video might be the one that changes everything for you. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.